Hey friends, I am so excited to be coming to you with another bullet journal video. In my last video, I asked if you all wanted to see a flip through of this one, and many of you said yes. I also asked on Instagram, are you following me there? If you're not, please do it. A lot of you there said yes too, so this is going to be a flip through of my first bullet journal, and you'll see a lot of things where I didn't quite follow through with everything that I had intended, but that's okay. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. And as always, I love hearing from you, so leave any questions or comments below. Let's get to it. I have loved this project. I especially love it for the fact that it's all in one place. I think I did a decent job with it. And there are some things that I've also learned, and I want to share with you the flip through and then some insights behind what I would do next or the things that I didn't care for. So I love that this is the mindset and the purpose of the bullet journal: to track the past, organize the present, and plan for the future. I've definitely found value in this, and certainly I've had things that have made this a year to remember, even though this was just from January to June. This was something that I wanted to do where it was manifesto material. If you've been following me for a while, you know that a water bottle spilled in my purse, and that's what happened there. My idea was to just write down little bits of wisdom or glue in magazine cutouts of wisdom that I could always reference and find inspiration from. So I like this, but I didn't really fill it up. Here is the index. I didn't quite keep up with it. You see it goes to March gratitude log and then April, and I didn't really keep up with it. I can always go back and fill it in if I feel the need, but I'm kind of over this whole book. I know that sounds weird, right? I'm glad that I have this as a memory keeping and everything that it contains device and place, but I don't find a reason to go back and do these things. If I really wanted to, I suppose I could, but right now there's so much other stuff going on. So as many of you know, I choose one little word, which is Allie Edwards' project, one little word every year, and I thought focus was going to be my word, but around March I changed it. I changed it to strength. And even though I love all of these words and I still keep focus at the forefront, strength has found me, and I'm trying to find more strength as we go day by day. So while I love all of these words and I love focus, I have a new word, and it's strength. Future log, it was good. I mean, plans change, so I think there are maybe different ways that I would do this, although I don't even mind, right? So I cross things out, which I guess it could be neater. Anyway, it's not. So yes, I like the future log. I think that this is a good device to have, and I have continued it for the new bullet journal. Video ideas and YouTube. This was a big fail for me. But if you saw one of my last videos, you know that I have a new YouTube planner, and I plan on using that strictly for YouTube. Blog ideas, that was kind of a fail too. Quotes to script was pretty good. Clients and collabs, this was very helpful, and I've definitely carried it over. I used to do this 15 years ago when I was a freelance stylist, and I found it very helpful to keep track of collaborations, when I was getting paid, etc., etc. Projects, this one kind of did okay. Brainstorm or brain dump, it was fine. Habit tracker, we know how I feel about the habit tracker. I love the idea of it. I love the way some people use it. Boho Berry does an amazing job with her habit tracker. I think there's so many different ways you could do this that could help you in you know, establishing good habits and keeping up with them. One of my main things, I mean, there's a lot of things that I do on a regular basis, but I was trying to get and implement more healthy habits on a somewhat daily basis. Now, I don't expect to run or exercise every day. I don't put that on myself, but you know, I did okay. So really, run or exercise is like 3 to 4 times a week. This time I had it to be just like, my goal was twice a week, and I kind of did that, you know, somewhat. Don't pick cuticles, that was a big one. Fail, 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 fail. And then I just stopped logging, so that is not good in itself. Books, I just continued this list onto my new bullet journal, and it was good. This I didn't keep up with very well. I don't really watch a lot of movies or TV. I tend to watch movies when I'm traveling, but I didn't record all of them, so I don't know about that. This was January overview, master tasks, which I really liked. I like this overall approach. Didn't quite keep up with it throughout the year. Then we just jump right in, and I love the way this looks. I think it's so cool that at the beginning of the year I can see that on YouTube I had 35,800 subscribers and 84,000 on Instagram. And I think that's cool to be able to track that kind of growth. It's neat to see all the things that I was documenting and doing. I love the way this looks because it's all grayscale with black, and I incorporated different details like stamping and, you know, slight doodles and the weather. I like how full this looks. Yeah, and then look, on Wednesday, January 25th, my book hit on Amazon, #1 bestseller in 2 categories, and it was such a surprise and so overwhelming, and I guess I let all this other stuff go, or maybe I just didn't check them off for this week. But yeah, and as some of you know, my book is now not on sale on Amazon anymore right now because it got picked up by Abrams. You can pre-order my new one, but it won't be out until April of next year. So we are trying to think of a pre-order bonus for people who decide to do that, but we haven't figured it out yet. So excited about this. I self-published the book. I plan on making a video going into detail about that, but I just obviously haven't done it yet. I started including stickers and including other people writing in my book. So I'm covering this private thing right here, but this is my gratitude log, which I absolutely loved this for every month. And although I didn't fill it out daily, maybe in January I did, the other months I didn't, it's okay. It's one of my favorite parts. I took notes, which I love this because if you don't listen to Good Life Project, I highly recommend this episode in particular. It is the 7P framework, and I love this quote: "Success is not just about knowing what to do, it is about doing it." So I highly recommend a listen to this. He has this great book out too, which I recommend as well. And then I wrote down the 3 buckets that he lives by. Living a good life is about perpetually filling these 3 buckets: connection, vitality, and contribution, which is true. And then I wrote some private stuff in here, so I folded the page and washi taped it. And then I took some more notes here from Alt Summit in a books panel, and then I continued my success scaffolding notes on this side. Photo shoot prep notes. The Allison show was at Alt Summit. Ellen the Apron Lady, which Ellen from Headley and Bennett. Just some notes and stuff that they said. I wrote some of Jack's favorite books down, which is kind of funny because now they've completely changed. Well, not really. I mean, he still likes a lot of them. I Know a Rhino is so sweet, and he calls this the Number Tree book, which is a 3-year-old's fairy tale book. February, same thing. It was like the outlook of the month and then more private stuff, and I just decided to do a quote: "The questions change, but love is always the answer." master tasks for the month, book promo, client projects, Craft a Life You Love events. I thought about doing that. And then while all this was happening, actually in February is when I got offers from publishers. So that was all happening kind of behind the scenes, which was pretty cool. So let's see, I started incorporating more magazine things, washi tape. I think this is the first bit of color that we're seeing besides the washi tape. Besides the washi tape stuff. So yeah, that's there. Soul Cycle, Super Bowl, then an explosion of color. This video, you can see me in action doing this. I think I have it on video. And then more color. Still love the washi tape. This is super skinny washi tape dividing the days. Hawaii packing list, gratitude log, and then I started putting in little bits, which I love because I ended up hosting the HBO Big Little Lies series launch or viewing party at my house where we got to preview the first and second episode of Big Little Lies, which was so cool. They sent a private chef over. It was awesome. So these are just kind of like highlights from the month. I decided to collage them in here. So it's starting to feel a little bit more scrapbooky at this point. So more private stuff, washi taped in. March memories. Instead of doing the opening spread for the March outlook and then another page for the goals for the month, I decided to do March memories, which I love this. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm a scrapbooker at heart, and it's just something that evolved into, I was going to mix in things that I wanted to stick places just so I had a home for them. Then we go into color, which I think because March was a rough month, and it doesn't look like it, but it was, I needed some color. So maybe that's part of it, or maybe because you all suggested that I add some color in here. And I love the way it feels. It doesn't feel like it was a bad month or a bad couple weeks or whatever, but yeah. So this was cool because we got to go to Bermuda, and then this is how I documented it. And I had other people participate. I love overall this spread for many different reasons, because this is when the month started getting a little bit better. Once again, I had other people participate. Kathy V wrote those things in. She was testing out some markers. I kept track of dinners. Gratitude log again. Put my first picture in. This was from PlannerCon. More private stuff, which I didn't end up taping yet, but that's okay. And then I started to do April memories here. Magazine cutout, stickers, a mix of stuff. Back to grayscale. Included some doodles and more stamping. Soul Cycle. Some colorful stickers mixed in. I'm so curious, which one do you like better? Do you have a preference? For me, I felt the need to change things up because I didn't want to get bored with something. Sometimes when I do the same thing over and over again, I need to just change it up for me. So that's what I did. And I kept going back and forth. Gratitude log, what Jack said. I only wrote down one thing, but it was so funny. At school, a friend of his got in trouble. I said, well, what happened? You know, what did Sonia do to get in trouble? And he said, Sonia made a bad choice. And that was just so funny to me. So I had to write that down. I'm so glad I have that memory of the way he said it and of course what he said. He didn't say that she was bad. He didn't say that, you know, anything even specifically about what she did. He just said Sonia made a bad choice. So we all have choices, and she made a bad one that day. May, I tried a new thing where I would do a monthly outlook calendar type thing, which I used to do. it did not work, clearly. So then I started to write less in here because it was just kind of crazy. We started off with a big photo shoot for 2 days in a row. I had a lot of work to do. Went to DC for a family trip where Jack met his cousin Jacob for the first time. And then it was like a whirlwind of stuff. I had my meetings to launch my website. I went to teach at the Islands Creative Escape and stuck a photo into my bullet journal again, Mother's Day, and then a whole slew of things, urgent care, painted some stuff. But I really just love the fact that, you know, you can make this your own. It's so adaptable. It's a system that you can change every day if you wanted. You could keep things that worked for you and then trash all the other things. I love this spread in general because of the colors mixed in with the black and white, mixed in with my favorite things like stamping and the watercolors, stickers. Here, same thing. You know, I used my stamp here, memorabilia, and then I stuck with the gratitude log. You can change it and you can do whatever you want. There are no rules. I didn't actually fill in this space even though I intended on putting more things to remember about May. This was a total fail. I did not fill this out at all. I had intended to, but I didn't do it. And this is where things got crazy because we launched my website in June. There was a bunch of work stuff and I completely just failed at a bunch of things. I was writing down private stuff. I was sticking stickers in, so many different things. And I just wrote notes and then, you know, I let Jack draw on it. So basically it was good for a while and this is what happened. But really what I've done to adapt is, I incorporated a spread here and then I moved June over because I did need to document some things. But, you know, really it just didn't work for me anymore. This was a crazy month and I needed to realize that, okay, all I need to extract from this month is this gratitude log and then of course my things to remember, which is great. For those of you wondering, yes, I still use my Google Calendar and there are other things that other methods and to-do lists, but I try to make this as neat as possible. I did it for months. Now it's just not happening. So I love this. Some bears live in it. That's what Jack said about that. So more drawings of Jack stuff. A little spread using my new line, Hustle and Heart. And then just like more private stuff. So with my new one, I decided to keep all the private stuff in the back, which I love. And then I don't have to have these things taped off because I'm really probably never gonna go in there and open up to see what I wrote. Okay, so I wanna know from you, what takeaways do you love about seeing other people's flip throughs? Because I love the fact that I can watch other people's videos and say, oh, she did that, I wanna try that. What do you want to try from seeing this flip through? What do you dislike about my system? I am all about learning and adapting and trying new things, but I found that there are certain things that work for certain periods of time and it's okay. It's okay that this is not completely pretty and not every page is filled. I think it's okay. I've learned that I have to give myself grace and I hope that you all feel the same way too. So let me know in the comments below anything you want to share. And I love that I shared so much of this journey with you and I continue to use the bullet journal and different planners, and I'll share more with you very soon. So thank you so much for watching and I hope you feel inspired to keep those creative juices flowing. Bye. So many of you have been requesting that I do a flip through of my bullet journal. This is the first one that I completed. Whoa, that was loud.